Today, we tell God thank you. Another very, very beautiful day this. When Tuesday, April 30, as a matter of fact, at the end of the month, this April 30, 2024. We tell God thank you for this day, and we don't make we see him. This now Kutubu Kuruma again from the Salon Tok Forum, where they deal with issues, comments, and analysis. The nation just celebrates 63 years of independence. So today, what me they do? As a matter of fact, I don't even start them, but now I just want to consolidate everything into context and perspective. 63 years from the time we get independence to now. I want to look at all the variables there. But before then, I want to ask you now for follow me now. Number two, I want to share. It's very, very important. Who na candidate on a share. It's very important on a share. Number three, now for also comment, because one of the comment on the program from there, now they are able to see now a kind of barometer where they determine, how the program they go. Now they are able for me amend, I go, restructure and just make sure say I do the things where will resonate with the listeners and supporters and fans. But above all, I go on there with that YouTube. I already talk about the need for us subscribe to the YouTube platform. That Kutubu Kuruma YouTube are always the action now because what you want to want it grow. Now that week at the corner. Now, like I open up, I say this past Saturday, Salio celebrate 63 years. For me, again, for be very honest, me personally, may not see anything for celebrate. Because people they ask, hey, could you go today's celebration? No go. In fact, there were a lot of functions. But steadfastly, I refuse to participate in any of the functions there. I not go. Because within myself, I don't believe say anything they for celebrate, we celebrate. Especially when you take waiting to happen at the country, looking at the whole structure of the country, waiting to happen there. In virtually all in facets then. So today, that's day. But that don't mean say me go stop other people them from celebrating. We all get a different way what they look at, me just believe based on what they get from the people them, the citizens them, the complaints, which then they go through. Now from that same day, and from waiting and they do, now me to put that into context and perspective. Now, when they go back to how then we come, to being where a supposed nation of Ion. I'm not just taken from 1960. I don't want to come from the fact we will be a colony of the crown. We in 1808. Say, when we talk say we were a colony of the crown, then a Britain I'm in charge. Everything was British. Everything we can think of. Because I'm in charge. Everything at the country. So in that light, obviously enough, we go talk say progress been there. Progress been there. Because the things that where people they complain now, where it really, really don't be a headache. When they complain about them, they were there. They were there. And some of we, again, we tell God thank you, we saw them. We now witnesses them. We are eyewitnesses them to the political climate that the country, before independence and after independence, only when we come to 1968, we change the political, contours of the country. But anybody where was we be not born, we be lucky enough, we be not be an adult, but above all, when they pay close attention to waiting the country be there, you go obviously in the position for make comparative analysis about Sierra Leone yesterday, colonial times, pre-independence, and post-independence, and Sierra Leone 1968 to now where they talk. For then we get to being a sovereign nation, the chief minister then, this is where we talk about the fact say, under this dispensation now, we don't need that title again, we don't need that office there. The chief minister then, Samit Magai, was in charge of the day-to-day running of the government. You will get what you call the governor, the colonial government, when I be the president in the council. So, you know, with that, because of that, you will get the colonial governor and the prime minister, where now him they go on the day-to-day go. Yes, we will need the office of chief minister, and not only that, we will run what you call a parliamentary democracy. Now, if I now take note of all the TSO, now a parliamentary system of government, when where you will say that an infusion means the parliament, the prime minister, you get a government, when I be a member of parliament also. Not so the supposedly what you get Naya, but what we don't even know today, plan. Because we suppose for the run is supposedly a presidential system of governance where there's separate powers. We need for the layout and cultures there. We need for they come up with their argument. We need for they come up with their lectures there. Let people they understand what are the distinctions in between a parliamentary form of government and a presidential system of governance. And me actually believe, say, if Sierra Leone actually need for get itself out of this quagmire where it is, we best form of government, it will be a parliamentary system of governance because it's self-regulatory. No one man not become an absolute ruler. You know they get total power. It's not possible. It's not possible they get a total power at all. No. Because the parliament of itself, it self-regulates itself as soon as they go along. The job of the leader of the head of the of government, in your job self no guarantee because all it takes that a group of parliamentarians have come together for get rid of the leader of government, whether be prime minister. Is there any example to that? Yes, some of we see that example there. On Sunday, March 1967 at Kenema, where 4 MPs then, namely Kutubu Kaisamba, Luceni Brewer, J.B. Francis, and Prince Williams, where they get rid of Albert Magai. How they do them? They just withhold their support for them. Imagine, compare that to the present situation at APC, where today the party as a whole not go able to get rid of one person. We don't insert itself. We don't grab the party as yield. You see, in a parliamentary democracy, we need for states that not happen. And as a matter of fact, after elections, especially if we have lost the elections, everybody will be then at the top management of the party. Everybody they go. Everybody they go. Everybody is going to be gone. That means they don't get leader for life. They don't get some. And as a matter of fact, in any kind of a system, they not vote for a prime minister. Waiting the parties and they do. Then they vote for a leader, mostly like APC, SLPP, NGC, C4C. Then they go to a convention. The delegates them, the party people, they vote, everybody they run for the headship of the party. Oda win the majority of votes, now in they take the party, go na general elections. And immediately after the elections, they now announce automatically the leader where the party go, pan the general election become the prime minister. So in other words, there should have been a prime minister in waiting before the elections. In waiting. Immediately after the elections, the prime minister, get well, we go you say confirmed because the voters are not already elect in a general election the party leader. So in May 1960, because the way they do this discussion as the layout who saw been there yesterday to who saw they now, I would throw in some of them, caveats there. So for help build the case. In May 1960, Sir Milton Magai, he lead a delegation of what you call coalition. Where then the talk of coalition, we are where NGC the talk of coalition. But the thing is, when you talk about coalition, how many parties then did it? Because this is what you get for taking into account. How many parties then did? Now in the form coalition. So our meeting led a coalition of people that will include all the parties then. SLPP, APC, PNP, and other distinguished Salonians then. 49 of them for go now a place they call Lancaster House in England. And go by what you call Constitutional Conference. The Constitutional Conference was aimed at, eventually making Salion, a sovereign nation by itself. We all tend with the head in the trouble. Well, we're not a sovereign nation, we're not this, we're not that. But looking at how things say, when you actually consolidate things them into context and perspective, the fundamental question where anybody got, are we truly a sovereign nation? Obviously, the answer I know, because we've been dictated, from just about everywhere. Why? Because we don't become a beggar nation. We depend bigger. Everything na bigger. So in a situation like that, you'll be forced for mortgage the sovereignty of the country. They call them the piper and the tune. Now the piper and the tune. If now then they give the money, then you get to go according to the dictates. But the question we'll go ask, we need people then for they over we shoulder there for the dictator. The answer is no. If people they get for the dictator every now and then any claims of being we being a sovereign nation, now a moot point than any claim say we are a sovereign nation, now a moot point. Because what you would see so the over dependence on people there, the dictation there from foreign intervention don't do for make let will not even talk about we being a sovereign nation. So we go to the Lancaster meeting. So meeting, let a delegation of very eminent citizens. Among that delegation that we go, among the people that we can go, was Shaka Probin-Stevens. Shaka Probin-Stevens went not as an APC member. We need to make this very clear. He go there as a member of the PNP. Let's not forget say Shaka Stevens and Albert Magai, for whatever reason, they may not come out that SLPP. But Albert Magai was smart enough quickly for return to SLPP before the Lancaster Conference in May 1960. He was smart enough to have returned before the conference. So he was Shaka Stevens Ingo as, PNP. Normally, how they call an atom. Pekin na Pekin. PNP, the only way they can call Charles Magai party PMDC when they can say Pekin Magai don't Chris. You know one thing I like about Salon people, they're very good at attaching caveats to things. PNP na Pekin, then PMDC na Pekin Magai don't Chris. So they call it party. So in any case, then go. The meeting was fine. Waiting Shakasiri is to erect a roadblock na the conference. Waiting do he insist, see, there should be election before independence. So now I mean we call it EBI, elections before independence. That's now the condition that way Shakasiri is take go na the meeting, the conference. But the people that will be in charge of the conference, especially Mr. MacLeod, when they're the British representative, when they represent the British government, and Samit Magai, when they're the head of the Salon delegation, they stand up to Shaka Stevens. So we also need from their history know of this. Say Shaka Stevens was not a member, was not a signatory to that historic independence accord. In signature, not upon that documented because he be not left, he come home. When he come back home, he come embark on what you call misinformation and disinformation. What he tell the people then, he say, the government of Salon, decide was sign a defense patch with the British government, but now even assume waiting if we talk get an iota of truth. Waiting pernicious about that. That even before be in the interest of the country because the British government assuming we get a defense patch with him. Then before help develop with armed forces and train with armed forces and so that while we meet with 1991 where Fode Sanko them, Charles Taylor them, and other people that we go invade the country where your army not able to counter them, past other people them that they can't to defend Ecomog, in fact Guinea and Ecomog. If we been get an armed forces, we get the combat ready, we equipped, and not only that we get all the logistical needs for let we prosecute war. We don't before we get something like that. As a matter of fact, when I don't know now that the causes of the rebel war, hopefully that will be the Salon Tok Forum where they deal with issues coming and analysis. Either I go down tonight or how the NPRC come about, waiting at the variables them we bring the NPRC and the rebel war. Waiting at the causative agency by God power, I will discuss that now. The regular, platform Salon Tok Forum, waking day by way of WhatsApp them. So in come home, the meeting take place. It conclude. We sign all the documents, and everybody was very, very happy about the outcome. The date was set for independence. As a matter of fact, Britain even give we money up to over £7 million for for celebrating independence. Give money. So in April 27, towards the eve of independence, the Queen in representative, when Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, come to Salon for represent the British government, but particularly the Queen. Don't forget the Queen, then I'll be the head of state in Salon. Waiting, the plan which Shaka they may come up with. Their plan was for kidnap the Duke of Kent, disrupt water supply, as well as electricity supply in the country for do that day. But what happened? the Prime Minister now, Dana Samitsimagai, he get what they call actionable intelligence. God made the security people them provide them with intelligence where he will act on them, so that they take neutralize Shaka series them and followers them. We also need for make one thing patently clear as we proceed with this about Shaka series in status inside APC. Contrary to waiting people they already talk say Shaka series is a founder of APC. No, he was not a founder. He was not. For me on research, me on information and all that thing, Shaka Stevens, just like Anet Baikoroma, when an invitee na APC, Shaka Stevens and SI Koroma, we are invitees them na APC. Some of the people that wait the names them way I can come up with when founding members. We are people like SAT Koroma, when they call Ojuku, people like SB Kausu Conte, people like Bob Allen, people like Pakale, as a matter of fact, Pakale in Os, people like Pabada Koroma. These are all the people then. Like I say, there are more of them. These are the people that way their name come to me head. Because one thing about history don't need revisionism. It will not be, it will rather be preferable. Let you left things them out, than you inject things them inside the narrative. We're not true. Not being able to name all the founding members of APC, but I don't name few. But what is very significant and abiding there, Shaka Stevens, EN, SI Koroma, we are not founding members, they were invitees. Just about the same way, we Anet Baikoroma an invitee, but it like they don't grab the party. So, but like we say, they attend for, cause mayhem in the country. But the Prime Minister been get actionable intelligence we act on by God power. So they neutralize them. They arrest them all. They not care they go to Panama. We need for also make that clear. Contrary to where people they lie say, oh, they've been go long in the Panama. No. Now New England, correctional center, New England V, now they didn't care and go. They not even bring charges on them. And you keep the native until after the celebrations. After the celebrations, now they release them without any charges, even though when the government began evidence for bringing charges on them, but they released them. So like I said, we get independence, then November 1961 again, we began the distinct honor and privilege for law get royal visitors and wait again we go. That they are way, go after the Duke of Kent. This time around, the Queen went ahead of state and her husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, they go to Salon, November 1961. I mean, you see the aura of respectability by the country. I mean, this was the Salon will be everything that country they be because like the reason why they bring this part of the history, I want to look at from a comparative analysis basis. I want to look at one when in the trouble electricity don't turn gold and diamond and salon lights not in the trouble water shortage. And the Guma Valley when the supply water and salon. On Saturday, November 25, 1961, the Queen and husband, Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, MS Mustafa, that then go na Guma Valley, that then go commission that Guma Valley. And that's what we need to understand. The population of Freetown, not be that boku. But what it happen, we get leaders, we political leaders, and people that we know visionary, they don't get vision. they not make no provision for the fact say the population of Salon na Friton at a point in time you will get for grow. So what they will do, let them improve on the the water supply they left farm like that. Because such time, all they talk, water supply was they in abundance to the extent. Also, we don't get pump. Then we also we get street pumps them. People them way be not mature. During the 60s, then go testify to the fact saying we been get street pumps them. So what have you not be stronger? Electricity corporation with the supply lights them. We hardly go through this kind of a tier where don't become a way of life. In the course of time, we will explain how we come about, this permanent blackout. We don't be a fixture, that Salon. So we get independence. Then we get with first general elections after independence. But the first general election actually in Salon before independence, now May 1957. But then we first general election after independence, now May 1962. We also need to make that distinction and be very clear. As we lay out this, about the political history, we come up with the political history, we need for also they come up with this. Let people they understand. Election take place in May 1962. Remember, Salon have been a place where virtually had everything, good schools, you get jobs, you get now make I put in the context say good everything. Everything where they make like una feel say una da a nation. Today, judiciary where they complain but we don't become so exponentially corrupt. We been get a very good judicial system. In fact, that because of the potency and the vibrancy of the judiciary, that even helped APC for kind of power. I recall when they take cases, they go to court. For example, that Republican, bill where Albert Magai be one pass, where be one, introduced to the country, the one-party system, where it be one introduced to the APC fed them. They fed them to the court. The thing about APC, when they're in power, when they're in opposition, they believe in the potency of the court system. They believe in it. But once they're not in power, they're not believing it. And we'll get to the fact why APC not believe in the court system. We even after this election, so even though when they work out, they claim that they win the election, but they're not going to court for go prove the case day. So you go ask the fundamental question: why, on the face of all of them talk here saying that I win the election? Because what you mean historically, and where I will give you an example, when the whole election in Nigeria, when Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, when they say they cheat them out of victory, what they do, they're going to court. Because this is the importance of the third branch. When the philosophers, people like Montesquieu, people like John Locke, people like Thomas Hobbes, where they put governments together, where we will say they derive them from the Magna Carta, where come about in 1215 between King John and in Jerusalem, where they force them for sign that Magna Carta and a place where they call they get a place now in England where they call Runnymede, where they go sign up. They put government together in such a way that everybody will be independent of each other. That the kind of government that we enjoy at Salon, the parliament was very robust, it was very vibrant. You get people that will get what you take for being a parliament. You had them. You also get a very vibrant judiciary. We also get a very free press, free and unfettered press. Now, because of the vibrancy of the press, the independence of the press, also that helped, put APC in a place where bring them close to power. Remember, we have people like Ibrahim Takide, when I've been, fearless, a journalist in the country. So all of those things in it. Everything I make, because if I say I count everything, it would not go down there. But I don't want let everybody accept it. So I don't have been the place that way you call home. Nobody not be the camp oversee. He can't spend this amount of time where we don't spend now. In other words, now we don't take oversee now. Now we are home that a home away from home because we not get an enabling environment that salon. We go back, man. You glad to say, well, I go back, go sit down there. No. If anybody go there back, you just go there now because of the love of the country. But if you take the year you look salon, especially that we were they oversee so now, we say, wait a minute. Why are they not a country like this? Where are they enjoy everything we originally profound about good governance, about the rule of law, about democracy, about human rights, about advancement? Why I go now me on country when are they born? Why I for be denied those things? Why? That is the fundamental question that we everybody go ask. So the cartoon as we wrote, as we talk about, the country in the various, stages them, before and after independence, we would throw in some of their narratives and they for help, build the case. What happened now? We again, like we say, the election done. Sami Magai continue in office until the day after we celebrate independence. He died April 28, April 28, 1964, immediately after we celebrate independence anniversary. Now, we also need to address this issue of succession business. This question of tribalism, where people already talk about tribalism, where all the time we say SLPP now, Miniman Party, no, that's far from it. Some of we, like I said, me all past SLPP. I saw SLPP, I saw the actors there, I saw people there. SLPP was really a party that will reflect waiting in the core salon. You had people like Mahmoud Ahmed from the north. You had people like YDCC from the north. You had people like Ahmad Wuri from the north. You had people like Baibara from the north. You had people like Kande Buere from the north. You also had Westerners then, where we needed people like H.E.B. John, people like R.G.O. King, people like G. Dixon Thomas, people like John Nelson Williams, people like M.S. Mustafa then, from the west. You been getting. So we began people then from the west and from the north, as well as the east and the south. So SLPP was an inclusive party where also, the people there from all the other, strands of the society were also part of the political process. You're like, I don't name them. So then you go ask the fundamental, why then, with all of this, how then can anybody either emotionally or rationally continue for call the party? Say, oh, well, this a tribal party. No. You get what you call intellectual honesty. Sometimes we get for be honest with you. Even if you did against something, you get against somebody, but intellectual honesty require you for let you give credit where credit due. But propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, pyramid of lies, it don't really take over the political firmament of the nation to the extent people are now willing for sacrifice truth, integrity, morality, at the altar of expediency. That the thing that way, everything that propaganda. So, Sami Magai being get 3 people there in mind where it be hope saying that they will succeed. The people in mind were John Carifa Smart, we na be personal friend, we na be Minister of External Affairs. You bin get MS Mustafa also, when a Deputy Prime Minister, a Minister of Finance, and you also bin get the Speaker of Parliament, we bin get the Banjat Yansi. And may recall in 1961, the very Prime Minister, Dana Samit Magai, in 1962, he set up a commission of inquiry into EU administration of finances for the year 1961. Then the Prime Minister now set a commission of inquiry, they call it the Coal Commission, for let it look into the financial expenditure or expenses of undertakings of the year 1961. And the commission come up with adverse recommendations against some, cabinet ministers and top civil servant there. And they make also adverse report against them. So this now, the factor this, we're responsible for, then two guys there, so Khalifa Smart and MS Mustafa, succeeding Mitsumagai. In the case of Banjat Yasi, in a Speaker of Parliament, but the 1960 Constitution not make provision for let a non-member of Parliament be a minister, let alone be Prime Minister. We also need to make this distinction very clear. We need to make that distinction very clear. So when Sir Milton passed away, then Sir Albert find himself in the running. And again, I must say this, not to input himself forward for the job of Prime Minister. You get people that within the party where, be the organ, but not to input them forward. The Governor General, Sir Henry Lightfoot Boston, what did he do? He used a constitutional provision in 1960, constitutional provision, where he had the power for appoint to the office of Prime Minister any member of Parliament or a cabinet minister, where in EU considered judgment and candid opinion appear to him say he likely will command a majority of the parliamentarians. That na the constitutional provision na the did it. And at that provision they Sir Henry Lightfoot Boston, where then be the Governor General now he used. But even if most of them in here for go that Parliament for let them vote for who that will get for be a Prime Minister, obviously enough, Albert Mugabe for win the contest over any of them people in there. Because Khalifa Smart not being get that kind of support among the MPs there. So he was out of it. And MS Mustafa also not be get the support of, you don't get that kind of constituency within the party structure and not get that. So obviously Albert 94 and away go. But in any case, he got appointed. Albert is a problem start right there once he came to office 1964 with the Creole establishment. How that came about, where they can form a very formidable force, an entrenched opposition against them. He look at the civil service, he look at the workforce. Looking at the workforce, he able to make a valid deductive argument that the workforce was not balanced. The civil service was not balanced. It was heavily Creole dominated, heavily, from all the strands away they look at. Heavily. The civil service was never balanced. especially in the judiciary, the foreign ministry, almost 90% of the permanent secretaries were Creole people. Almost 90% of them. Even the parastatals, they were Creole headed. So Sir Albert look at this. How you go in a place, people that within the minority, but that they dominate, the workforce. So Sir Albert decide for see how he go ameliorate that kind of imbalance there. Heaven open. So this is what the Creole people they use against them. Say in the camp for get them out of power or office for in country, people them. This was all Sir Albert in crime where he commit, where he try for balance, let them get an even kill, an even balance now the workforce. So then they pan that. So what in APC do? APC obviously they team up with what you call the establishment, the court system, the Creole dominated workforce. They constitute opposition to them. Everything where you want in the block up, for example, the one party, the Republican bill, where it be one, where you want to turn the country to a republic. Waiting APC do, they take that matter, they can go in the court. And as what we have is the activist judges and the judge they wasted because they all don't be see themselves as supporters of APC. They all then side with APC. So they put the court system put within in law they call interlocutory injunction on the administration, meaning that they restrain the administration from declaring the country a republic, and that also went for the one-party system. Then make sure it don't happen. And this, like I said, this was the time where the courts were independent. Not to now. Not to now. When the courts be free for waiting they want to do. So then they that say that back to royal until the elections come. But before the elections come, we need for talk about the first coup attempt at Salon. We need for the talk about this. These are historical, trends and we not for left out, because one thing about history not need revisionism. The first coup attempt at Salon, now they call the Mayans Day coup, way before take place in January 1967. We go recall, we army then was a very strong and disciplined army. To the extent, una way don't follow, World War history. We don't find out say Salon will score a significant victory over the Japanese forces in a place when they call bomber. Now that make we they celebrate armed forces day in Salon. For give gravitas to that victory where Salon forces they be pulled over the Japanese forces. Na bomber. That make we already celebrate that Mayans Day or Armed Forces Day. So now that 10-day Colonel John Amadou Bangura, he supporters or some military officers one for celebrate for take over. But again, actionable intelligence being there at the disposal of the government. This time around, now Albert Nagabi in power. So what they do, they arrest them, they keep them now Pandemba Road prison. This time around, they didn't keep them. And the elections was just around the corner because the election was slated for March 17, 1967. And this incident happened in January. So the election was slated for March 1967. So they were in custody pending the outcome of the election, pending. But it can't be said now after the elections, constitutional government, was resolved, looked at that way. So the period between Friday, March 17, 1967 to April 23rd, March 23rd, 1967, now a very, very important part that in Salon political history. Friday, March 17, 1967 to Thursday, March 23rd, 1967. Now, I can explain the importance of that. Because no way, not the way anybody go talk about Salon political history, where you know go revisit those times and day. Because if you not talk about those times and day and the things that will happen, you just waste your time. You're not talking history now. You just engage in, a time wasting. March 17, Friday, now we hold election. March 18, Saturday, the results have been come out, and except APC be there in the lead. Sunday, March 19, Albert Magai go to Kenima for meet with some top SLPP people that wait them, denying them the party symbol for run, but nonetheless, run as independent candidates and they win. So Albert be one people they for go join them. Now make you go Kenima, Sunday, March 19, 1967. But the people like Kutubuka Samba then, people like Elliot Brewer there, people like J.B. Francis there, people like Prince William, then get a condition, say they go only do that where he resigned as party leader and by extension as prime minister. We need to understand this. This is also very important in the political history. It's very important for a lot of talk about then dates and the things that will happen. So Albert no will prevail on people then. He come back that term. Monday, March 1967, the Governor General sent call Albert Magai and Shaka Stevens and asked them for form a national government because of the things that we don't go the atmosphere of the country. He said let them go think about it, then they come back Wednesday, March 22. Let us see I'm waiting at the answer. Again, what happened? The Creole establishment, will include judges, they put a lot of pressure on the Governor General for let he appoint Shaka Stevens as Prime Minister. Now remember, the Governor General don't tell the Senate and go back Wednesday, March 22. But what do you do? Tuesday, March 21st. See, if again, they take the time they explain anything here for a good number of that will not be done born yet, or even where would have been done born, would have not get any idea as to how this thing have been play out. The situation where the country be in. Tuesday, March 21st, 1967, the Governor General write a letter to Albert Magai, say he intend for appoint a prime minister. In other words, intend for make an appointment to the office of prime minister. 2 letters in that he write. The other letter tell him plainly say he not going to be appointed as prime minister. In other words, the Governor General in letter tell Albert Magai say he not going to be appointed as Prime Minister. But waiting the Apunaya, the Governor General not wait. Let all the findings or let all the results then they in. Because the elections of paramount chiefs, their own results, they all not be done it. And even all of the MPs then. So yes, at that time, APC be the lead, 33 to 31. SLPP will get 31. APC get 33. But like I said, there are more results pending. Paramount chiefs results are pending. Because the paramount chiefs, they were members of parliament in their own right. Representing the various districts, 12 of them. But then we had 12 paramount chiefs then with them. So in other words, they mean they in a position from determine whose party they will join. All that the Governor General not with. A sent call this time. He sent call Stevens. He appoint him, and then he give the letter of appointment, and give him to the permanent secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, when at Tommy Decker, for they can go now SLBS for who announce the appointment of Shaka Stevens as Prime Minister. If I don't follow this, how the army get into this. Peter Tucker, now been the secretary to the Prime Minister and head of the civil service, and the army commander Brigadier David Lansner, and the commissioner of police William Lee, on the day of the nomination, Albert Magai stepped down as Prime Minister. He stepped down. Then they set up this committee at the Trocare. These people that were the name they had also, they were in power, and they give power pending the end of the election and waiting them in for their own job was in case of any emergency situation, anything that they began for address that, so the army commander get involved in politics, contrary to where people in the talk say, oh, Albert Putade for let help for let he remain in power. No, that was not. Look, get that very clear. That three of them, Peter Tucker, in the David Lansana, and William Lee, when I be commissioner of police, they appoint them for let them be caretaker them until a new government emerge. Now, then Stevens, then a state house, they participate in swearing in. The ADC to the Governor General, then a Samuel Hinga Norman, phone the army commander for tell them waiting to happen at State House. By then, TAL Decker, Tommy Decker, when I've been the permanent secretary, Ministry of Information, they not tell that letter of appointment. He can't go to Hill Station for go look for Peter Tucker, and then when I'm the secretary, and they will be in charge of things until a government go carry the letter go there. The army commander see the letter, he read them. And waiting up, but before then, the army commander be don't go see the Governor General and tell him for hold off on appointments then until all the results and after all the results and all come in, then he can make an appointment that he go tell her. He say because in case of anything now, he not go able to handle the situation. That was what the army commander tell the Governor General when they be the head of state. The Attorney General then, Bata Macaulay, instead being give similar advice, urging the Governor General for it. But like I say, the Governor General was under tremendous pressure from the establishment, the Creole group there, when they put pressure on them. So what he do? He kowtow. He make the appointment to the office of Prime Minister. He appoint Shaka Stevens and he swear me. So why they on that 9 Hinga Norman way at the ADC to the Governor General a call the army commander he tell him waiting they happen at State House. The army commander Dana David Lansana tell us say let he hold on to them people they need. Who are the people them? The Governor General, the Prime Minister, the newly appointed Prime Minister now, and other tough people they will be say let hold on to them. Say in the calm day. Meaning that he left a residence, then a Flagstaff House station, in a camp that State House. But in Norwich State, una all go here, una will remember because this again, now I make we say now come again now they refresh una because a lot of people that we hear it over radio SBS, an announcement we talk about martial law. Una with the recall the political history. The events that will take place between that time, the time of the election, to the time of that announcement. We talk about martial law. Now, the army commander make a broadcast of martial law. Then Tuesday, March 21st, after the appointment in swearing in of Shaka Stevens. Okay. Now, the country was in a state of uncertainty. Because this didn't happen now, everything don't come to a standstill. So, the army commander, in young people, in young senior officers, namely Augustine Charles Blake, SB Jumu, and B.I. Kaisamba, they go meet in the army commander and ask him, say, let he give them permission. Then they go negotiate with the Governor General. For whatever reason, the army commander give them the okay, which was totally wrong. Then the junior officers them not to therefore go negotiate with the head of state. If there was even any need for negotiation, now the army commander says. For whatever reason, he allowed them. Well, actually, their intention not to be for go negotiate to them. They see around, they try to take a feel of the security, arrangement around the army commander because of the fluidity of the political situation. Waiting them again, man. Then they get in mind for take over. Now that they get in mind. So when they go after they don't commodity, where the man don't give them the okay. Instead of them going to State House where they say that they didn't go, then they go to the army playing ground and go begin address the troops there. The old net no call, no city, they not come. They not call, So now somebody has said, but then people are be saying, say that they go to State House, they don't come back, they say no. They not talk to you, no. So what he do now? He said take phone. He begin to call them. He called Chubu. He called Kaisamba. He called Blake. No answer. Somebody now the other end. Now answer. Now he tell them say no. He said them money the way he call. They know they look there. Then the army play field. Then they address the troops. That's what they tell them. So now he says, well, he says they go there in a combat officer. So, but he was advised, say, not go to that place, you don't go meet 10 people in there. Now I say, no, he go there in a combat officer, not you don't go up. Now he go there. As soon as CJ, now they arrest him. When God pardon, now they arrest him. So they arrest him. Then Lieutenant Sheikh Kukande arrest Sir Albert, go arrest him Gorbich. They go arrest him. Then they pick up Shaka Stevens. They pick him up from State House. So they pick up Shaka Stevens, Albert Bagay, and the army commander. Then they all do a Panama route. They go lock them up. The Governor General, what they do? They keep her under house arrest now State House. Now we talk about Thursday, March 23rd now. Now see how the thing now, the political situation now, veer out of control. So in the evening, now in the Augustine Charles Blake, after they now arrest Shaka Stevens, the Governor General, although they not come on Pademba Road, but he was arrested anyway. The Albert Magai and the army commander after they not arrested. Now the nation was without leaders. We don't get political as well as military leaders. So waiting happen now, he go announce. He talk about all waiting may not happen. Then he talk about the establishment of a political, a military and police administration, where they call the NRC. NRC means National Reformation Council. They don't set them up. It comprises of the police and army officers. So at first, they may want let Patrick Genda let him head the junta. But Patrick Genda said they may not pull under the army because he was suspected of either attempting for overthrow Albert Bagai. But in any case, he was he was suspected of anti-Albert Bagai activities. So he had fallen down with the government. And so what they do, they may not pull and come under the army. They may not pull and they. First he was under arrest for a while, then later they pull out. Now they send him abroad for send him one of the embassies. So waiting now happen. The guys, the NRC guys said, members said, they make this man head of state because already he very sympathetic towards APC cause. There is chance that he go sympathize with APC and he go return the country to Shaka Stevens and that not go bode well for them. So they look in and they say, oh no, now they change up and settle on Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith said he out of the country. He was out of the country. Now England on the study course. So now they call him. So now he go now. Where he go, he had the junta. He make appointment. They form cabinet. The cabinet before them they call them commissioners. Was in the civilian dispensation they call them ministers. But when they can call them commissioners. So now they need out say, but when along the way, one of the people that when they bring when a Major A.R. Toure, we be in England, where eventually be governor of Bank of Salion. About 3 months within, the dispensation, now he resigned, he go back to England for continuing in studies. What did they do? The NRC, they set up commissions of inquiry into the activities of, the past government. They set 4 commissions of inquiry there. Bill Coubet, Percy Davis, Dov Edwin, and Foster. But what's good about the commission, unlike BOEO, all the findings, they implement all the findings. For example, Albert Bagai in house now, Godrich, the government is saying for Caesar, and the Caesar, then they turn them to a hospital for that woman, they want to begin a maternity ward. So now that they do. Then they put that April 1968. Now, when they release Shaka Stevens and John Ahmadu Bangura, we be not in a detention, Sheikh Toure invited them to Guinea, then go set up a guerrilla training camp for train, mercenaries, for go invade Saloon, by force of arms or grab power. Don't forget that then go there. So, whilst, then they prepare for do that, we get 2 patriotic army officers, Patrick Conte and Imad Rogers. What did they do? They mobilize the rank and file of the army. They put it together, then they overthrow the NRC government led by Joshua Smith, led by Justice Smith on Saturday, April 18, 1968. So, waiting start Friday, March 17, 1967, 9 cascade into waiting finally happen April 18, 1968, when they overthrew the NRC. What you go do, this is a very serious thing. We don't want make come small. The next time we will come back, we will take them from where now they reappoint Shaka Stevens for the second time as Prime Minister. When the broadcast come next time around, I will take them because what you want to come by segment, because this, like we say, very important. This is a very important aspect of the Salon political history. So now I'm going to. So when next will come, now from Yanda will take up from that angle day. Again, I want to now all thank you for what I come today. And again, I appeal to now. Anytime who can now for follow me, now for share, for comment, and now for also, like we say, for subscribe to the Kutubu Kuruma YouTube platform is very important. It's very important now to do that. By God power, we'll come again before the week is out. And we'll come, we'll take her from there. Until then, this is Kutubu Kuruma, the wish all the listeners, supporters, fans, and well-wishers them a very pleasant and blessed day. Because we not talk, say, we not go past 1 hour. We not want more people there. 1 hour should be enough for the program. Until then, you guys should get a very pleasant and blessed day.